Hi YouTube family. Okay, I am back in our living room space, and this has been kind of an ongoing project since we purchased our home. The reason being is that when we first got here, we knew we had a fireplace, and our original plan was to fix and recover the old fireplace to make sure that it would work and help us to have a heating source for our home here. So we made some aesthetic changes to this living room, designed our dream space, only to discover that that was not something that was going to be doable, which led us right before our very first winter here, scrambling to figure out what we were going to do to heat our home. And we ended up with a very large wood stove. Again, needed some aesthetic changes as well as some functional adjustments to the renovation of this room because we needed to add tile underneath and proper fire safety to have a wet certification to install such a large wood stove. And heating with wood here in our province is very common, and so we weren't the only family to do this. And so luckily we were able to very easily find the information we needed to make that happen really quickly. But again, that meant some changes to this room. And so in doing that, we had some issues with like furniture placements and other structures that we wanted to have in this room based on having things far enough away from the heating source and other elements of this room to make this room not only look beautiful, but also be safe and functional. So over the past year and a bit now, we have had an all white living room space. And when doing the renovations in the home, we kind of just stuck with white spaces because we weren't really sure when you have to kind of live in a space for a while to kind of figure out what exactly you want the vibe of the home to be. And this home has really spoke to us along the way, and we really do try to like listen to what this home is telling us as we live here. And we've realized that we are losing a battle that we're just not going to win. And that is keeping a white room with white aesthetics with a wood stove. And since we're losing that battle over the past couple of months, I've re-washed down these walls. I have re-scrubbed the ceilings and all the elements of this room, re-primed, repainted white, and only to discover that I'm losing. I'm losing so big time here. And so I've taken matters into my own hands. But I wanted to show you something that I've been working on in the living room space. As you know, we've been working our way through this entire house from start to finish, and we have made a few changes along the way and have had a little bit of trouble like committing to some color throughout the house. And lately, while we've been working on our bathroom renovation, we have realized that although we played it safe and did white basically through all the rooms we've completed, that we're kind of ready to finally start adding some character and some personality to some of the rooms in the house. You saw that I've had struggles with some of the blue paint colors that I've been trying to add to the house. And I think I figured out why I was having that problem. I realized that I'm actually a green person and not a blue person. And that my whole life, I've really just sort of gravitated towards doing things blue because growing up, we had a lot of blue things. And I just thought that that was really like what I liked. And once we did the bathroom with green, all four of us here, my husband and both my sons, we have all absolutely fallen in love with it. And every time we walk in and out, we're like, wow, it just is so unbelievably calming. So much different than if I would change that entire room to blue right now. Same bathroom, different wall color would make a huge difference in the way that the overall vibe of that room goes. And so in doing that and realizing that we really love the green, we have selected paint colors for several other areas in the house. And one of the rooms we wanted to put some color on was the living room. We really wanted to have some color on the wall in this space. I've addressed before my struggles of keeping the wall color in here actually looking white because we have such a large wood stove in this room. And we heat completely with wood. And so it's very hard to keep things in this room completely dusted and no soot on things and not have the wood stove discolor the white paint on the walls. And so it was a no-brainer for us. This was the first room that we wanted to add some color to, and we absolutely love the outcome. And I think I found the perfect dark medium green that's so timeless and so beautiful and is totally us. And there's a few things that are still going to be coming into this room, which I'm going to explain to you, but I want to show you the progress so far. Coming into the living room space, you can see we have our large wooden stove and we have our live edge wood shelving that we already had here. We did take down the bottom shelf on this side. We realized we just wanted to have a small TV in here over the winter, and we actually really like having it in here. And then of course, one of my favorite DIYs I've ever done was this sheepskin chair that you see on the right hand side there. And we just have a few little like storage solutions to put some wood and some kindling and things that we need obviously to operate the wood stove. It is absolutely dreamy. We absolutely love the color. And so far, we have realized that we just really enjoy the way that the natural light comes in and reflects off the wall color. It just is so different than having this room white. So you might notice that I'm missing something over here, and that something really large that was in this room is now no longer in this space. We actually sold the great big IKEA sectional that we had in this room. The reason that we decided to sell that great big sectional was for a couple of reasons. One was way too big for this space. When we bought the house, we actually got all of the wrong dimensions from the real estate agent. And so when we ordered that couch, we thought that it would fit perfectly, only to discover that not only this room, after now seeing the house, had 2 of the big bay window sections, it also was significantly smaller than the room size that we were told. The dimensions were all wrong, and so that couch was sitting way too close to the wood stove. In addition to that, because of all the lockdowns at that time, we were very limited as to what we could order. We knew we wanted sort of that orangey tone couch that would be leather and easy to wipe off when you have pets and children, but we also wanted it to be something that we were going to keep for a really, really long time. A more costly sofa, but something that we knew we weren't going to just have for a year or two, and then it was going to not be good enough quality to keep. And so we ended up going with this great big sectional, and it was more modern looking. And once we actually saw the house, because remember, we bought this sight unseen, we realized that it was really the wrong look for this house altogether. But having bought this very expensive couch, we thought, well, we're going to live with it as long as we can until one day we find something else. And so we did decide to relocate that. We rehomed that sofa, which was amazing. It looks so good in its new owner's home. They sent me some photos. And we were able to move a couch that we had from Elysia home theater seating into this living room, which fits perfectly. And there is another couple of pieces that go with this set. I'm going to show you where they're going to go because they are on their way currently to add to the living room. So this is the Elysia home theater seating that we have. So this couch is absolutely the most comfortable, and it is so beautiful. The color is just absolutely lovely, and it fits the vibe of this house so much more. I think it goes beautifully with the green. And there is the matching chair, accent chair, to this couch that's going to go here facing the exit of the room here. And there's an ottoman that's square, similar to the shape of one of the cushions here, that we can either make this into a chaise on either end or use for a footstool for the chair that will go on this side. So we're still waiting for the chair, which is why that side looks a little empty. And then we're just going to keep our coffee table and all the other fixtures that we had in this room. We still need to do some like relocating of our cords and things. We have our cord just from the TV needs to go like back behind between the wall and things, so we don't have a cord trailing underneath anywhere. Not only because we have pets, but also we want it to look tidy. But we're still at that part, but we are absolutely loving it. And I brought down this pothos plant that was in the bathroom that was kind of like not thriving. And so I'm learning that although I love having plants, I absolutely need to put them where they want to be, not where I want them to be. I love when you look out our living room windows that you see our orchard and the greenhouse and eventually our garden that will be there. It's just so nice. And we get such beautiful sunlight through this window almost every single day. So I wanted to show you the progress that I'm making here in the living room space. I think it looks so great so far. So let me know what you think. I think it was a really good decision to pick a color, and we absolutely all love it. It's just been like so calming and so much more welcoming than this room being white, and I'm just really thrilled. I'm leaving the hallway with all of that tin texture white, and we have that beautiful rust orange color staircase with our photo frames and stuff up the wall, and it just, the sight lines are starting to really come together, adding some personality to some of the spaces, and it's just really so calming. And then when you head to the left, you walk into our pantry, which has that beautiful sunflower wall, and it does pull some of this green from that room like into that space. So it's all flowing so nicely. And tomorrow I am starting to paint my kitchen cabinets, and I have selected a color, and I'm so excited to show you what I plan on doing. And if it looks the way I hope it will in the kitchen, I'm going to paint the pantry cabinetry the exact same color because I think it's going to be so dreamy. But since it's such a beautiful day outside today, Philip and I are going to work outside today while the boys are at school. because we're working on several projects outside and several projects inside. And so what we're doing is on the really beautiful days, we're trying to work outside. And then in the evenings or on the rainy days, we're trying to work on the inside projects and get everything done that we're trying to do on our to-do list before we start our barn build. We have a little list that a big list we're trying to get through before we break ground on the barn. That way kind of everything else is done, loose ends for different projects are finished, and we can just focus on doing the barn during that time. Hi, ladies. Chicken and eggs this morning. Whoa! Holy moly! Thank you, ladies. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 eggs. Holy cow, girls.
You guys are too fun.
Come on. Come on.
Come on, hi. Erickson, Frida. Hi, Rex. Okay, one more time. Ready, go. Go.
We just went to go get all of our feed for the month. We think it's probably going to storm this morning. It was supposed to be a beautiful sunny day, but I don't think I'm planting raspberries today. There's one thing about heating with wood. So even if you're not feeling well, you got to cut wood. And usually we have a whole rack on the front porch, but we've gone through our rack, and I was sick last week. Philip's not feeling well this week, and no one has filled our huge rack on the front. The boys were also sick, so it's not really like any of us really felt like it. So we exhausted all the wood that we had on the porch. This is actually all the wood we have left for this season, which is kind of perfect. We actually got the exact amount of wood that we needed. Last year we were a little short and got wood last minute at the end of winter because we weren't sure. But one of the things that having your house only heated with wood means that you absolutely have to have wood or you're going to be really cold. So one of the things we've learned after being here now for 2 full winters is that when one of us is down and out, it would be so lovely to have a secondary heat source. And we do primarily want to heat only with wood because it is so much cheaper. So even though it's incredibly time consuming and you have to deal with things like soot in the house and bringing things in and things like that and stacking the wood and cutting the wood, and even we've been buying our wood the last couple years. This year we're going to harvest our own wood. It's going to cost us even less this year to heat our house by doing it ourselves. But we do want to have a secondary source just in case. And like I said, with say moving our room from upstairs to downstairs, we're not getting any younger. And so it just makes sense to have a secondary that we can use in case we want to. On those weeks where we're just not feeling up to it and we want to have something else going, or we have those minus 43 nights when, yeah, the wood stove's great, but you'd like to have just that extra warmth in the house, we're going to put in something. So in the next week or two, we're actually going to be installing a heat pump into the house. And that's going to give us that secondary option that we're looking for. We're going to put it in an area that the house stays predominantly most cool all year round. That way we can warm up that space, and that will ultimately help throughout the whole rest of the house. So the weather doesn't really want to 100% cooperate with us today, but we were able to get quite a bit done. We worked on resetting a few of our sections of fence. We are going to have to make a few adjustments once the actual barn's here, which I'm going to explain to you, because where the barn's going to go, we don't really need the fencing really behind it quite like how it is right now, but we do want that fencing up right now in the meantime so the horses can be out in this area before we get working on the barn. So we'll probably have to backtrack just a little bit, but I want to show you we got quite a few more posts in the ground today and then more fencing up for the horses. So over in this section here, once the horses are out into this area, we will be moving the utility trailer. This shed is being taken down. That obviously got stuck in the storm and kind of like crushed down, but we were able to get the rest of these posts all put into the ground. And you can't see behind here, but we got all the rest of the posts that are going to close up that area all also done and dug into the ground over there. So we're just working on putting the slats on. And then we were able to get the slats on all the way across here. So once the barn is going into place, we're going to be moving a couple of the sections that are behind where the barn's going to go, and then changing areas at the front here where our gates will be. But for right now, we want to be able to close it up and be able to basically have like a faux gate where we're going to walk the horses in and out so they can have a bigger area to roam right now. And then once the barn's done, we're going to open up even more sections of paddock at the back there. Some of like the woods area back there, we're going to be clearing some trees, making them like a beautiful meadow paddock, and then another wide, more of like an acre worth of paddock on the other side over here, which is going to be really exciting. But we have to get the barn done completely first. I'll show you, we're starting to get our first buds happening for spring on our apple trees. Okay, I have a mission for you guys. I cannot find which video and where I explain which of our apple trees is which type. I know I wrote it down in a notebook somewhere. Do you think I can find where I wrote that? No, I can't. And I looked back on videos and I was trying to find which video I told my own self in the video which tree was which type. Okay, so I'm standing at the greenhouse currently. I know that the two that are down here are pear trees. Can't remember which kind of pear trees, but I know that those two are pear trees. This tree was, I believe, a 5 different type split of apples. It was a grafted tree. I believe there's 5 different flavors of apple there. But these two here, one of them I know is Gala. I don't know what the other one is, and I'm trying to figure it out. And of course, just like I mentioned in the video originally when we were putting them in the ground, that I was going to somehow remember from the video, say what the names were, and also create markers for it because I knew that the tags would wear off. Well, I clearly made a mistake somehow and I cannot figure it out. So mission to our YouTube family, which tree is which type of our apples so that I can officially make some markers so that I never have this problem again. And then I'm trying to figure out where to put our raspberries on the property. I think I have about 30 raspberry plants that are now needing to get in the ground. I have some for Mom and some for us, and I just don't know where on the property I should put it. So if you grow raspberries, I need all your advice possible as to where I should build my trellises. I want to get them in the ground this weekend, like Saturday, Sunday. And so I have what I need here to be able to build my trellises, but I don't know where the best location is for me to put it on the property. So if you have suggestions for me, then let me know. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think of the living room transformation. I'm so excited to show you our bathroom reveal this week, as well as painting our kitchen cabinets, amongst many other things we're working on right now. But I hope that you're having a really nice day. I love you, and I will see you on tomorrow's episode.